President Tinubu has unveiled measures to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal, approving 100 billion naira for procurement of 3,200 20-seater buses fueled by compressed natural gas, that's CNG. And the rollout of these buses across states and local government for mass transit is among a long line of interventions from transport to agriculture, a new minimum wage, helping businesses to go through the time. Nigerians, in a nationwide broadcast, he told Nigerians he understands the hardship and came to help and not to hurt the people, assuring that things will get better soon. So on the program this morning, our focus is on the president's message to Nigerians in a broadcast on Monday. A very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on Nidweek Connect. My name is Agatha Egwari Ojo. We're happy that you're joining us for another fresh edition of the program. Yes, we're talking about all areas the president addressed during his broadcast on Monday to Nigerians as regards effects of fuel subsidy removal. Don't forget that time will come when you can call in and make your contributions on the program. Tell us what you want to see better, what you want to what you make of the president's broadcast. As always, we kickstart with our news tidbits. The Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has restated government's commitment to keep the state safe, to encourage investment and socio-economic development. Deputy Governor was speaking at the 2023 edition of AFEMI World Congress in New Jersey, USA.
As a government, we are trying to keep the state safe, because only when the state is safe and peaceful that what we want to make of it will be possible. No investor will bring his money to a state that is not peaceful and secure. Issue of S-men and farmer has been dealt with, and through the support of all the traditional rulers and the new security architecture that your own son was privileged to midwife, and we've been able to deal with issue of investment and farmers' clashes and issue of kidnapping.
Lawmakers in Edo State have directed the Federal Controller of Works to press on the appropriate authorities on the need to fast-track the rehabilitation and reconstruction of all failed federal roads in Edo State. The House gave this directive through the Speaker after receiving a brief on the condition of federal roads in Edo State from the Federal Controller of Works.
You will soon be phased out of your petty because in life there remain of us. That also comes with its own.
The path goes from what's called from between here to our district. It's no longer possible. They now use that all these cross carrying PMS, AGO, cows, and all, they now pass that where it's not without that destroy the whole completely. As I speak to you, the process for the payment is at advanced stage. Another good news is that federal government has placed the funding of this road under NNPC special funding scheme tagged Road
Governor Godwin Obaseki's decision to reintroduce sanitation exercise is to promote healthy living and make the state look attractive to investors. The governor's marching order in that direction came up this Monday with the launch of Mega Cleanup in Benin City, the state capital. The exercise had the support of relevant stakeholders from government and private sectors.
He wants, by the year 2030, Edo State should be the primary destination of businesses and people living in good health and in general well-being. And in trying to achieve that, he thinks that the only way he can crystallize that is to start a program that makes Edo State as habitable as possible. He wants to bequeath an environment that is sustainable to the people.
It's not just a flash in the pan. It's not just a one-day activity. It's supposed to be a continuum. And going forward, the task force is being constituted, which is going to be people.
All right, that's the news tidbits. But don't forget that you can join us live on our YouTube channel, NTA Benin. We are streaming live. We will take a short break now. When we return, our guests will be joining us. Then we'll begin our conversation for today. To stay with us.
Join us every day on NTA Benin Network Center, Channel 7. VHF. Star Times on Channel 103. You can log on to our social media handles: YouTube, NTA Benin, Facebook, NTA Benin, Twitter, NTA Benin 1. For breaking news, call our news desk on 091 535 59648. NTA Benin, the award-winning station.
Have you any event, weddings, birthdays, parties, burial, coronations, inaugurations, cocktails, convocations, dedications, religious or corporate events, and you want to showcase in a grand style with interviews, documentaries, highlight in glamour, events and style? An NTA Benin Diary program is the right platform for a wider audience. Showing on NTA Benin and also on NTA Benin YouTube channel for viewers home and abroad to enjoy any day, anytime. Wow! Contact us today at NTA Benin Marketing Department, TV Road, Benin City, or call the number on the screen. Just let us know ahead of your program. Events and Star crew will be there no matter the distance. Events and Star, highly affordable with unlimited value.
NTA Benin, the award-winning station.
Aduawa and environ, or you need a conducive and open field in Aduawa for your wedding receptions, birthday parties, annual ceremony, family or corporate event in a serene and conducive environment that is close to nature? Then look no further. NTA Benin Aduawa is a place for you. NTA Benin Aduawa has a large field for all your events and ceremonies. Also, at NTA Corporate Headquarters TV Road, we have a state-of-the-art, fully air-conditioned, ultra-modern hall for all kinds of indoor events with a standby generating set, guest room, constant power supply. We also have the NTA Pavilion for all outdoor events at the same venue. Guess what? Our prices are affordable, locations are easily accessible, venue is conducive and highly secure. Our outside broadcast van is available 24 hours and can broadcast your events live. And above all, you can air your events on our award-winning programs like Events and Style. Wow! What are you waiting for? Grab this opportunity and have your celebration in a grand style. For inquiries and bookings, please call NTA Benin, the award-winning station.
Join us every day on NTA Benin Channel 7, VHF. Star Times on Channel 103. You can log on to our social media handles: YouTube on NTA Benin, Facebook NTA Benin, Twitter NTA Benin 1. For breaking news, call our news desk on 091 535 596 48. NTA Benin, the award-winning station.
Have you any event, weddings, birthdays, parties, burial, coronations, inaugurations, cocktails, convocations?
All right, thank you so much for staying on. The program is Nidweek Connect. We are looking at the president's broadcast. That's palliatives and the effects of fuel subsidy removal. Don't forget, again, we are streaming live on our YouTube channel, NTA Benin. So wherever you are, you can be a part of the program. And the phone lines will soon be open for you to call in and make your contributions. Our guest is here, a legal practitioner, Greg Iyayi. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's take this background report to kickstart our conversation for today.
This is the first nationwide broadcast by President Bola Tinubu since he assumed office in May 29th this year. The broadcast targeted at providing answers to several questions from Nigerians as it concerns the economic situation of the country and some policies of his government. The president explained some of his administration decisions for the greater good of the country, and some takeaways from the broadcast are hinged on fuel subsidy removal, where he revealed that subsidy cost the country trillions of naira yearly, which only benefited some few individuals. That by removing the subsidy, government is saving 1 trillion naira monthly. The president also noted that ending the multiple exchange rates was necessary to correcting the imbalances bedeviling the Nigerian economy. The president in the broadcast also promises investment of 50 billion naira each to cultivate 150,000 hectares of rice and maize, and 50 billion naira each be invested in cultivating 100,000 hectares of cassava and wheat. Also, infrastructure was given priority. To ease transport costs, the president promised that 100 billion naira will be spent on the purchase of 3,000 units of 20-seater buses to be shared among major transport companies. These and more are what the guests will review on this edition of Nidweek Connect.
All right, thank you so much, Ifeoma Okafor, for that background to launch our discussion for today. So, Barrister, yes, I'm sure you listened to the broadcast since Monday. It's been reactions from all quarters. You know, of course, some people have hailed the president for even coming out to speak to the people, to tell them what is going on and his plans for them. But what do you make of the broadcast, of his message, or contents of his message?
Well, I think it was good that he came out to speak to Nigerians. But some people feel that he came out just because the NLC was threatening strike. They feel that he should have come out much earlier than that. And that even before you announce the removal of the subsidy, that you should have arranged for palliatives. Because if you look at the ripple effects of the removal of the subsidy and the consequent increments in the pump price of petrol, you see, it is devastating, very devastating for the economy of the individual, corporate economy, and the economy of Nigeria as a whole. And we are feeling it that many agencies, government, have been forced to reduce the number of working days in a week. Just look at the man hours that are lost to the economy as a result of that. People having to work only 3 days in a week because their salary cannot even sustain that, the transport, if they are to come every time. So, well, it's better late than never. It's good he still came out and he spoke to the people. But I think the general reaction, because we're in the streets and we hear from people, is how soon will these palliatives reach the people? And then how are we sure that between what the president has said, when he has said it, that the palliatives will not be hijacked before it reaches the common man? You know, these are the questions that are already begging for answers. And I do hope that the president and his team will address this, because if the palliatives are just announced and they don't trickle down to the common man, then it's as good as having announced nothing, honestly.
But that seemed to have been the problem over the years, and I think now the issue of trust is an added problem to this case.
Yes. You know, trust deficit has always been there between the people and the government. And this trust deficit even started from the announcement of the result, which is still being contested. But you see, one thing I've always said is that trust is never dashed to anybody, even between husband and wife, children and their parents. Nobody dashes you trust. You have to earn it. You have to do something. You don't just desire it, you have to deserve it. So this is the issue about trust. And the government has to do something to make the citizens trust them. And the citizens are not going to dash the government trust, whether they say it or they don't say it. The government just has to earn the trust of the people. Do something that the people will see, the people will feel, the people will hold. And on that, they can build some trust. And I think any government very seriously needs the trust of the people, whether they like it or not. Because government survives and thrives, not just surviving, but government thrives on the trust, the amount of trust that the people have on them.
Okay. Now let's take the issues, or the issues one after the other.
Yes.
Let's first look at transportation. Approval of 100 billion naira for procurement of 3,020-seater buses fueled by compressed natural gas, that's CNG. And the president said it will be, given to states and local governments for mass transit, and they are already working with some transporters in that regard. Do you see light in this?
Well, we have had something like this before. You will remember there was something like labor transports during the Abacha era. How long did they survive? And then there was also this mass transit system where many companies were giving. Who are the people that are actually going to get it? And you see, I'm a little bit skeptical about this issue of buses, because today when we are talking of mass transit, public transportation, you are not really talking of buses, you are talking of the rail. Because the rail can move people from thousands of people at the same time within the shortest periods, and over a very long over a very long distance. So when we are talking of mass transportation,
but we don't have that kind of infrastructure.
We don't
yet
have that kind of infrastructure.
Around.
That is what we are saying. Even the roads. What's the state of the roads? You see, our roads punish our vehicles. You see vehicles that may even be brand new within a short period because of the state of the roads. So if these buses are brought goods, but look at the state of our roads. Within a few months, many of these buses will break down. And whatever little money they are making will be spent on repairs and then getting spare parts. So if you are talking of transportation, fix the roads. If the roads are good and the buses are available, okay, we can take that. It's a palliative. Palliative is not really a solution. It is just an emergency remedy, emergency treatment. So while you are working on the permanent solution, I mean, we can take it's like an emergency room in the hospital. So it's palliative. But fix the roads. Then these vehicles can run on the roads, for a longer period and without breaking down. But the current state of our roads, no matter the number of buses you bring, even straight from the factories, the roads will punish the buses and break them down, and then render whatever palliative you thought you were going to give. Nonsense. This is reality. All over the states, the complaint is the state of our roads. Local government, state roads, because local government roads are virtually non-existent, and federal roads. In Edo State here, we know that our biggest problem is even the federal roads. So, which buses are you going to bring that will run Saple roads? Which buses are you going to bring that will run from here to Ekpoma or Auchi? So, how long will those buses last? When you have vehicles queuing on the way for days. So the government should address with all emergency.
Should be part of palliative too.
Yeah, it should be part of the palliative, because you cannot talk of road transport without talking about the roads. Will the buses fly in the air? They will not fly in the air. And then, like you have said, if we talk of race, that's a long-term solution.
Well, I'm sure that's why the infrastructure support fund that the president established a few weeks ago, I think, to take care of that issue.
My sister, you see, these are things that would have been thought out and even been in place, or at least should be ongoing by now. Because I'm very sure that before the president came, he had made up his mind on the removal of subsidy.
Yeah,
and
it was part
at least
of
he
his
had a
campaign.
kind of kitchen cabinet, think tank, group working with him. He has been in the executive branch, he has been in the legislative branch before. So he's used to government. But I thought that there would have been plans on ground, and as he came, he would hit the ground running with those palliatives, because the removal of subsidy was announced the very first day in office. And I believe that also the palliatives should have been, they should have been working on them at that time. And by now we'll be talking of how far we have gone and not we are going to. Because the stomach does not wait for we are going to. The stomach waits on what it can take and what you can give it right now. So this is not that as Nigerians we are impatient, but there's one thing any government should know, that you cannot keep telling the people, tighten your belt. We are strangulated. We have tightened our belts. Because if you look at this issue of subsidy removal, you see, because sometimes what is history? History is the study of the past in comparison with the present for a better future.
Yeah.
That is all it is. At one time it was called price adjustment, later appropriate pricing, later commercialization, later deregulation, and then before we started singing with subsidy removal. What has always been the excuse or the reason? Infrastructural development, hospitals, buses, healthcare, educational sector, PTF. When PTF was set up, that was what it was supposed to be. But let us look at what came out of them eventually. And we are still talking of infrastructure today. We are still talking of palliatives today. So this has always been the reason. And even at a time, we are told that there were really nothing like subsidy. That it was a scam. But we are told that the subsidy and it has to be removed. All well and good. What the Nigerians are not greedy people. We are very easy to please. That is the truth, and that's why, despite our predicament, we are still ranked as the highest people in the world. Now go do them, so to say. True. We are very easy to please. Just give us a little that we need and create the environment for us to survive. We will thrive by ourselves. You don't need to make us thrive. Just create the environment for us to survive. And we will thrive. We know how to thrive. And that's why Nigerians, go to different parts of the world and they are thriving. And they are the best. Even our police that we ridicule here, they go for international assignments and they win accolades.
Come back with accolades.
So, I mean, we are a hard-working industrial. God has gifted us with that, and no one can take it away from us. But I think the government needs to be more compassionate and really caring, and then pamper us a little, and then we'll be able. The best will come out in us naturally. So, I think the government should think of what they can do for us. I would expect a palliative like reducing the school fees announced. That will touch many Nigerian
But government has come out to
families.
say there's nothing like an increment in school fees.
Yes, there's nothing like an increment in school fees on air. But you go to the campus. My children are in school. My children are in school. So, when you go to the campus and you go and start arguing with the bursary department or the vice chancellor that government has said there's no increment
in tuition,
you won't be registered and you won't go to class. So that is the issue. What is announced on air, is it what is on ground? The government has a mechanism of doing that and calling the universities to order. And then I think the loan that has been announced, the government should look at it very properly. Because if you say we have to repay, I'm a student, I take the loan, I repay after 2 years. Looking at the Nigerian economy, is there any job for me? Is there any job for me that I can do to be able to repay within that period? We are not in the situation of like Donald Trump with all his faults, as people may say. He always told graduating American students that, look, after your graduation, as you are hanging your graduation gown and cap, you go and take up a job. Yours is to go to school. My duty as President of the United States is to provide you a job before you come out, and that job will be waiting for you. And it was real. Lowest unemployment rates for 50 years during his tenure, with all the shout against him. So that is the kind of environment we want. If we're in that kind of environment and you ask me to take a loan where I can very safely take it, knowing that a job will be waiting for me, and when I get that job, I will be able to repay, because I have to have the ability to repay. That is where the trap is.
Okay. Don't forget, the phone lines are open. You can call in and make your contributions on the program. You have the phone lines displayed shortly on the screen. Yes, sir, you have it there. You can call in now and make your contributions on the program. So let's talk about agriculture. These plants in the agricultural sector. Yes, 500,000 hectares of farmland for cultivation all year round. Cassava, wheat, maize, rice.
I very much agree with the government, because agriculture, no economy develops, without a very conscious gargantuan investment in agriculture. And agriculture can really engage, particularly many of our youths. Let me say this, that many Nigerian youths, they will be very, very happy. During Lockheed Benedi's time, there was a study that was made, and they discovered that in every local government in this state, that we cultivate something that can set up an agro industry that can employ not less than 300 people. 300 people being employed in a local government in one small cottage industry. It's not a small deal. We have 18 local governments. Times 300.
Yes, I remember the pineapple farm, the
pineapple farm,
and all of that. Yeah,
you know, if you go to a place like Obedu in Uromi, tomatoes is wasting because the people there, much of what they know is tomato farming. And we can say that for all our local governments. So I agree with the government that we should actually go to agro, we should go agro. If you can't feed yourself,
sorry,
you can't do anything.
Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Good morning.
Can you hear me, ma? Good morning.
Very well, I can hear you. Good morning. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Good morning. Can you hear me, ma?
Very well, I can hear you. Good morning.
My name is Alaja Arun. I'm calling from Lagos City.
Okay.
My name is Alaja Arun from Lagos City.
Please speak on. We can hear you, but do well to turn down the volume on your TV set. Just talk. We can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
Just speak. We can hear you.
My name is Alaja Arun. I'm calling from Lagos City.
Wow.
Okay.
I wanted to comment on the issue of increment of the school fees.
Okay.
The issue is that our school fees in school has been increased. I don't know why, whether the government has been do something on that. Actually, they have increased the school fees for us in school. That's the comment that I wanted to do.
What school is that?
Unijos.
Okay, University of Jos.
University of Jos.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what you were saying earlier. That though the presidency has come out to say there's no increase in tuition fees, but
when you go to the campus, you know what the president has said has not taken effect on ground, and that is what we are talking about. There shouldn't be any lacuna between the announcement from the presidency and what is on ground, because the people do not enjoy the benefits of the announcements. So that is that. The government will keep telling you no increment, but the school will keep telling you go and pay, go and pay, go and pay.
Is it that maybe probably for the place where you have tuition, it's kind of dash, there's no figure there, there's no amount there, but in other areas the increment are squeezed in other areas? Is that what the situation is?
Well, it could be, but even the tuition is still there.
Okay.
The tuition fee is still there. Some of them will tell you that it has not been communicated to us, to us. No bureaucracy.
Yeah.
We have not received any instruction. We have not received any letter.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Your name, please.
My name is Preston. I'm calling from Benin.
Okay.
Yes, my contribution is this. We were told that the subsidy will be removed in order to improve on education and the general well-being of the masses. But now what we are saying, you remove subsidy, at the same time, you are increasing the school fees. The education you vow to improve on by removing subsidy. You are now at the same time increasing the school fees, making it unacceptable to the poor. How do we relate these two? Does it not show that the government is deceiving the people? So these are things we want them to answer. Nothing. Since the removal of the subsidy, nothing has been done. The roads are still there. The people are suffering. The people can no longer feed. If I come out from my street now, you see all the stores are closed because the small businesses can no longer run. What is it? How do we not enjoy it? What are the people? Is it after the people have died that they will not enjoy the subsidy removal? It's a question that we don't understand. This is my humble contribution this morning.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sobase. Thank you. Hello, do we have another caller? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Adonatus Swami. I'm coming from Medical Source Road.
Okay.
You see, in the years past, our government then does not lie. But today, our government is lying. In the years past, when you say special announcement or government announcement, everybody will pay attention. But today, people no longer pay attention when they say special announcement. Because the government of today, or from 1999, has been lying to us. We no longer trust them. Yesterday I was hearing that federal government said there's no tuition fee in Nigeria, in the federal university. But my brother, this is the lie from the east, from the hell of east. All the things we had from government, none of them, they all lie. And it's not helping this government. Neither is it helping us. In my city where I live, we consulted go to that street. Where I do business, our consumer got spoiled. We contributed 20,000 naira on each house to buy no transformer. So the transformer has packed up because they give us, we bought small ones. The transformer has packed up again. Where I live, also at the urban community, we have a kind of moat. We are trying to do that moat by saying that every house is paid 100,000 for us to try to let us so that our cars can be reachable out. Government is not doing anything for this country. It's the hardest time we sit up. It's the hardest time we do something. They cannot be cheating us. They cannot be telling us lies. And they are very sick, so I will no longer be going to cast my vote in this country. Because the situation like we contesting for election as a senator, I voted for you. If you go there, if we make laws that will favor you, that will not even affect my children, you alone and your immediate family. In other countries, presidents do go with the public transport. But today we go with fleet of cars, with wasting money that are supposed to take care of our infrastructure. Close the gap between the rich and poor. Every day, Nigerian man is right. They don't people are getting poorer, the rich is getting richer. And if you look at what is happening in society, our children now, some of them, if they don't put hand in battle, they will not excel because how much will they pay you for you to do what you're supposed to do as a man? You will be out, you marry. In Africa here, we believe in extended family. Your in-laws are there, your mother, your parents are there, your junior brother, children are there. If you are not going, you take care of your junior brother, children. We need that this government cannot help. Every Nigerian will buy many means to make money. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Donatus. Thank you. Do we have another caller? Well, that's the beauty of democracy. People are free to, air their grievances, and the Nigerians are asking questions. It's still the issue of trust.
Yes.
Trust of what we come out of this time around.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have another caller? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name, please.
I'm calling from Benin.
Okay.
What I want to suggest is that government has been talking, I will do this, I will do this, I will do that. What I'm saying is that by this new regime, they should mandate maybe a small group to monitor all what they like to plan for the nation. That is, if the governor and people are trying to say school fees are very high, the governor and his commissioner should beg it. They should go out and beg it. But the money they use for themselves is too big. For the poor masses, let them take this money. And now this, let the press know this is the amount that so school will be paying. I just see no reason why we'll be talking one thing and we are doing different things. So this is what this school will be paying. This is what this everybody, everything can hurry will know that this is what they will pay. In the federal, they said they want to bring us, want to bring it. Let this bus come out. Let them fix people who will be monitoring. Trying to say the proprietor of the school, or what they call it, the university provost and all this, they are fixing it. They are fixing it on their own. You see their belly will swell up. They see the money. People in the state government may not receive their money. They will be exploiting the students. Let the government know what the students are supposed to pay if you want to help them. Anything you are doing at all, it's not so to a grammar in this country that everything that the head table should do, they should put people to check that the governor can be checked.
All right.
But the land they are using is very big.
All right. All right.
They live anyhow, and at the time they say, okay, let's come for us. They use that money to give 5,000 to people to go for them, and they go back again.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, sir. I think, Master, you have to come in here. It's still this issue of trust. But he also said something about a mechanism to check whatever funds are available for palliatives. Because I'm sure it's flowing from COVID-19, the palliatives during COVID-19. We saw how that played out. So they are asking now that government should have a form of check mechanism to ensure that whatever is given to states are judiciously used.
We can see what is happening in Adamawa states.
Yes.
At the moment, where people are breaking into warehouses, collecting the grains, collecting the rice, collecting whatever is there that are supposed to be palliatives that have been stored and released. Then, just like you have said, the issue of feedback mechanism. I was listening to the governor of Oklahoma, just before I came here. He lowered taxes, and his state is now one of the 3 states with the lowest taxes in the U.S. He said he didn't just sit with the legislature, they passed a bill, he assented to it, and then he sat in his office. He said he takes out 2 hours every day to go to business premises to know what tax they are now paying. And then while he's away, he leaves 16 full lines on ground with senior staff to monitor text messages, take calls, and then when he gets back to the office, he devotes at least 3 hours, to respond to those text messages and all that. Because he said, if the state assembly passes a bill you are sent to it as governor. You've got to go to the streets to know what's happening. To know what is happening. But I think our government, they have the capacity to really put in place a feedback mechanism. Technology is there.
Yeah.
And then also, our top government officials should leave their offices at times and go to the streets and see and hear what is happening. Because sometimes some of the bureaucrats might not be giving them what is actually going on. Might not be feeding them with the correct information. Go to the streets, go to the market, go to the shops, go to the schools, go to the hospitals, see the state, sometimes incognito, go see what is actually happening, because you were elected for the people and to serve the people, and you should be able to deliver on those things.
Hello, good morning. Reverend Adams, please turn down the volume on your TV set. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. I want to first of all commend the a wonderful man. I know him best.
Thank you. Thank you.
This your program is very enlightening.
Thank you.
Palliative is not the problem now. Are we refugees? How many palliatives can we or any government provide that will support this on ground? What they challenge this morning that they are talking about the problems of the country. AJ, where are the roads? I'm projecting what my barrister said. Where are the roads? I'm going to have to do today with that forces on the street. Even there, none of them have been able to stop transportation. So I'm of the opinion that they should stop cajoling the people and they should fear God. It is not today Christ is giving life. Whatever we are saying today happened in the days of Joseph. They should look for people before they should consult with people before they start reading about issues. Look at the palliative of before. Because there was a war in medical talk, people died. Problems were increased. The palliatives were not given out. Certainly, I don't know what people cannot learn from what they have said before. You store food, you store this, doesn't get to people, they fight, they die. I know somebody who the brother died during that palliative issue in medical store. He was never at my church. Because he was fighting for rights. He had some gunshots, and the amount for a bag of rice was not solve a problem. So I'm of the opinion that they should set up a committee like that matter of people now. Because you respect him, apart from him being a lawyer, he's a servant of God. He does not have any woman ministry or on it. If that man, they allow him to give them ideas. So I would say, finally, I want to stop the book of Luke. There was a man who had ideas on how to solve the problem of the city, but because he had no money, nobody heard his voice. This one telling them, whether he has money or not, let them hear his voice. So finally, what I want to say is that these are, we see all of this as a bad governance. I am the leader of Men of Zion, Initiative for Critical Governance and Leadership. We should look into critical governance and the art of governance.
All right.
So thank you for so much.
Thank you so much. From what he has said, that's the view quite a number of people are also canvassing, that what we need is a permanent solution and not necessarily palliatives that after the whole maybe a year or two and there are issues,
Yes. If we had things like plans to set up modular refineries, I would have been very glad. And do you know what pains me? The Air Force during Buhari, even Obasanjo's time, they were busy bombing those refineries, our local refineries in the Niger Delta. How did the Chinese get the technology for refining? How did the Iranians get it, the Indonesians? Was it not by harnessing their own local refinery? Why not get these people together and then get some people from the universities to supervise them, and then set up standard. They already have the knowledge. They actually process these crudes in their own local way with local technology. You put it in the vehicle, it moves. Why can we not develop our own? When you are talking local content, is this not what it's all about? The brains of our people in Biafra during the war, they were refining their own. Fuel. Why can't we get some technology, standardize them, subject them to scientific standards, and then let our eggheads in the university, supervise them, and then we'll be developing our own refinery with our own technology, building our own machines. So this is what I would encourage the government to do, because palliatives, they are emergency measures, they are not permanent treatment, and we should not concentrate too much on them. I would have been happier if maybe out of that money it's okay, we lower school fees, we increase salaries, and then we put the rest into building refineries.
So we have, like the president mentioned, trillion naira saved from subsidy removal from when the subsidy was removed. So what would you want that funds channeled into? The savings from the
savings. The savings should be used to fund education, and then to fund local technology, particularly in the oil industry, so that we can build our refineries, and then we can be refining our, because the high cost is actually the difference between it's actually the cost of refining and transporting it back. That's what the cost is all about. If we get it here, we refine it here, then the price will crash on its own. Within a very short time, the price will just crash on its own. And then we'll be talking of a subsidy or no subsidy. Then anyone that wants to keep the price of his own product high, then he will stay there. And the people will go for the one. Then there will be competition because there is not deregulation.
Okay. All right. Fred here will call you to wrap on the program. Thank you so much, Barrister Yayi, for your time on Nidweek Connect.
Thank you for having me.
And just so you know, the views expressed on this program are that of our guests and our callers and not that of the NTA. I'll see you again next week. Bye.